Hello, today we're going to talk about how to install RTbrick on Ubuntu 20.04 machine. I've already posted videos on the channel that talks about how to use RTbrick application to simulate BGP sessions, ISIS, LDP. Also, we can use RTbrick to simulate subscriber sessions like PPPoE and DHCP. You can refer to those videos on the channel, but this video is to quickly walk through the installation steps that is required to have RTbrick up and running. So for the first thing I do on my Ubuntu machine is I am checking the version that I am running. So under proc directory on any Ubuntu machine, you can do a cat version and you will find out your Ubuntu version. Another command is etc os release, which will also tell you what is your Ubuntu version. Now to install RTbrick, there is a well-defined RTbrick GitHub page, and when you go to the GitHub page, under installations, it clearly explains the steps that is required if your Ubuntu is 18 or 20. If you have 22 Ubuntu machine, the commands are slightly different. And also, after you do this first level of commands, you will have to download the BNG Blaster release and start installing it. So let's look at the first set of commands and what happens when I test it on Ubuntu 20.04. Now I've just screenshot and pasted the same installation step commands for reference as well. And as soon as I enter the first set of commands as listed on the installation steps here, these first set of commands, you can see that in my Ubuntu machine there was an error and it said try to fix it. So I've tried to fix it with the apt fix broken install command. Obviously, because I was not the root, it didn't allow me. So I invoked the same command using sudo and it fixed the problem. And I noticed that it has also removed a previous version of BNG Blaster that was installed on my machine. Now, after this first step is done, according to the documentation, you just have to go to the next step to download the releases. So when you click on this link, this is the page you end up in, and you can see you have the latest BNG Blaster 9.15 for Ubuntu 20.04. So I am just picking this version, downloading it to my local PC, and will have it uploaded onto my Ubuntu machine under a directory called RTbrick. Okay, and after that, so before I go into that step, so as you noticed, I started off with the first set of commands to install the library. I had an error. I fixed it with this recommendation that came up on the Ubuntu itself. After I fixed it, I've retried that command for library installation, and you can see this time it all worked fine and no errors were reported. Now at this point is when I start downloading my BNG Blaster release, which I was just showing earlier. I'll have it uploaded. I've given a screenshot of the Blaster image for reference, and I will have it uploaded onto my RTbrick folder on the Ubuntu machine. Here is the image that is uploaded right now, which will be called for installation. Now the command to install is obviously again given in the reference installation file. It is sudo dpkg-i and the package name. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. I've called that command and referenced the package name. So you can see that it is all installed and I didn't have a problem up to this point. Then I proceed with the next step where you have to start performing these steps for version 18 or 20. Obviously for 22 version there's a separate set of commands. So this is the command I will be using for my version, and you can see that that's exactly what I've done here with wget. And as soon as I download these files or dictionaries, I follow again the steps to unzip it and install these packages, these three commands. So the commands for reference here on the video are highlighted. So I list it. Once I do a wget, I can see the file is here, the libdict, which is highlighted here. Then I unzip it as per the documentation, and then I start installing the packages one at a time. After I finish these three steps, the last step I need to do is to install the dependencies, and I just do is copy paste this whole line. So you can see here I've copy pasted the whole lines. As soon as this installation also goes fine without any errors, I quickly check if my BNG Blaster is installed by using this command. I can see it's there. I also run bng blaster-c, where it will give me the options to invoke configurations. Now, you can refer to the videos that I've posted earlier that explains how I invoke configuration files for BNG Blaster and then start off sessions like BGP, OSPF or ISIS, LDP, or even subscriber simulation. Now, one other thing that is important as a part of this installation, which is not referenced here on this main page of the installation, but it is still needed, is to ensure that you install Scapy. So I'm checking if my Python version is available, and I have 3.8 on my Ubuntu. I install Scapy. The reason Scapy is needed is you can create a BGP update file. Again, you can reference the BGP specific RTbrick example video that explains how you can create a BGP update file with hundreds and thousands of prefixes that you want to send as an update using an RTbricks towards your routers. So to achieve that or to create that BGP update file, you need Scapy. So once Scapy is installed, you will be able to run this command that gives you the syntax of how to generate it or how to generate that update file. And then you can reference that file via a BGP session so that you can send all routes towards the routers using RTbricks. Just proceeding one step further in the part of installation is the BNG Blaster controller. This will mainly help in debug assistance. Again, there are loads of videos in the channel that explains how I have used this controller command to demonstrate the session status and debug information. Now the link is here, I pasted it here. It is also available on the GitHub page. Specifically, you have to go to controllers. And if you go to controllers on this GitHub page, you can see there's a BNG Blaster controller link. When you click on it, here is the latest image that is highlighted here. You can go and choose the image. Now, BNG Blaster really has some benefits in terms of debugging. As you can see here, I have just demonstrated the screenshot of that. So same story, you download it, have it uploaded onto your Ubuntu machine and just install the package using the command here as listed. And I check the status of the BNG Blaster controller. I know it is active and running. Post installation, the BNG Blaster help will show you some debug options available. The most important way to invoke BNG Blaster is using this user sbin BNG Blaster CLI command. Now you can see here the examples of how you can run it. So if you run these things, you can get debug information about specific sessions within your flow, and it is very powerful. You can use this to even identify what is the state of your BGP session or updates that you're sending. So the GitHub page has some examples, but this is a quick snapshot of what is really needed for your BNG Blaster installation. Hope you find this useful. Bye for now.